This one.
Kilimanjaro Safaris. Once the boat is safari transport, please remain seated with your hands, arms, feet and legs inside, and remember to watch your children. The transport will be arriving shortly. A Safi River.
Here, Vinny means welcome. So welcome aboard, everyone. Please slide all the way in. Make sure we're leaving room for everybody. Inside the truck at all times. Now the warden has given us that all clear already, so let's head on into the reserve. Our first stop today is going to be at the Little Ituri Forest. The forest is home to many animals who use their natural coat colors and markings to blend into the environment around them. Now this is called camouflaging, and many animals will use it to hide from predators. So let's see what camouflaged animals we can find today. Now we do see our very first animal over on the right. That is an okapi. Now it might look like it's related to the zebra due to those striped legs, but it's actually related to the giraffe. Now they are very shy and reserved animals, so we are off to a good start today.
Is that real?
That is real. You're on a real safari. We're driving through Africa today, so you're going to see some pretty cool real animals, including that okapi over there. Now if you look above your heads, there is an animal spotting guide, and that is to help you identify any of the animals that we might see today. Now we're not guaranteed to see them all, but we usually have some pretty good luck. And we're already off to a good start. And I think I see another animal. If you look very closely, there's a black rhino way back there, but there's also another black rhino on top of this hill on the left here. So I'll pause here and you all can take a picture or two if you want. Now, black rhinos are the more solitary of the rhino species, and they average about 3,000 pounds. Now, they also have cone-shaped ears to help with their hearing, and that makes up for their poor eyesight. Now, they are unfortunately being poached for their horns, but it's kind of silly because their horns are made out of keratin, which is the same substance that makes up our hair and our nails. Now, I think I see more animals here on our left. On top of this hill are two different animals. The rusty colored animal is called a bongo, and there's a lighter colored animal back there as well called a greater kudu. Now, greater kudu are one of the taller species of antelope in Africa. They have light colored coats which allow them to blend in with the light rays that shine through the trees. Now, the bongo that you saw, they have backwards pointing horns which allow them to glide silently through the forest, and that gives them their nickname, the ghost of the forest. We are leaving the forest, but we're headed over to the Safi River. The Safi River is home to many semi-aquatic animals who do spend most of their day in the water. So let's keep our eyes on the surface for any bubbles or any ripples or even any dark shadows that we might see. Now I do see some hippos in the water over there. Now I can't stop, unfortunately, but I will go slowly for you. And there are some pink-backed pelicans on that island there as well, those white-colored birds that you see. Now hippos are nocturnal, so it's very cool to see them in the daylight like this. And as we travel along the river, keep your eyes out for any more hippos that might be nearby. And I see one in the water over here, so we're gonna get a little bit closer. A group of hippos all together is called a bloat. So there might be a bloat of hippos around the river today. I do see those two hippos coming our way. Now they don't really swim, but they do walk along the bottom of the river instead. Now they can hold their breath for several minutes, which is something I wish I could do, but I haven't learned how to hold my breath for that long. Please stay seated for me, friends. Please stay seated, please. Make sure those little ones are seated. Thank you. Hippos will ooze a red pigmented oil from their sweat glands, and that's nicknamed the term blood sweat. Now, all those pink-backed pelicans that we saw back there, they get their pink backs during mating season. They are also the only species of pelican to nest or rest up in the trees. And we are about to go over a bridge that we commonly call Croc Bridge around here. There have been reports of Nile crocodiles nearby, so I'm going to do my best to get us across as safely as possible. Now, friends, we are in their home, so we want to keep our voices down. We don't want to scare them, okay? We want to be respectful to the animals as well. So far, we're making it safely across. And I think we just about made it safely over those crocodiles. Now, Nile crocodiles are the largest species of crocodile in Africa. They average about 16 feet in length. But they're actually very gentle mothers. Mother crocodiles will gently roll their eggs in their mouths to help with healthy hatching of their babies. Now we are headed to a very different ecosystem than what we've seen so far today. This ecosystem is called the savanna, and the savanna is home to many different animals, plants, and trees. Now, speaking of trees, there is a funny looking tree over here on the right. That tree is called a baobab tree. Baobab trees go leafless about 9 months out of the year, and they store thousands of gallons of water in those trunks. Now they have a few nicknames. One of them is the upside down tree because it kind of looks like their roots are upside down, even though they're not upside down. And their other nickname is the Tree of Life, which sounds kind of familiar to me. I don't know if it sounds familiar to anybody else. Now I am seeing several animals out on the savanna already. I do see several Maasai giraffe out and about. Maasai giraffe have what's called a prehensile tongue. Prehensile means finger-like, and they will use those tongues to pull leaves off of trees. Now this is what makes them closely related to the okapi, because okapi also have a prehensile tongue. Now this animal just over here on our right with the very big horns is called an ankoli cow. Now, their horns are about 6 to 8 feet from tip to tip, and they're filled with many blood vessels to help keep them nice and cool or warm as needed. And we are also passing by a herd of wildebeest just over there in the middle of those trees. Now, wildebeest have scent glands in their hooves, which allow them to find and follow each other. Wildebeest are also very vocal animals. They make a newing sound, which gives them their nickname, the New, and that is spelled G-N-U. I see a Maasai giraffe over there on our left, and I think I see more Maasai giraffe up ahead, so we'll get a bit closer here. But Maasai giraffe tongues are very long, from about the length of your fingertips all the way down to your elbow on an adult arm. That's about how long a Maasai giraffe's tongue is. Now it looks like there's even a baby Maasai giraffe over there, so we're going to get a little bit closer here. Remember, we want to keep our voices down since we are in their homes. We want to be nice and respectful to them. And we have seen Maasai giraffe give birth standing up out here on the savanna. And their babies are about 6 feet tall when they are born, which is taller than me. Now this baby seems to be a little bit taller than a newborn. That one looks to be about 9 feet tall instead of the 6 feet tall when they're first born. There are some more Maasai giraffe and some more ankoli cattle as well. You can see just how big those horns really are. A Maasai giraffe help keep trees nice and healthy out here on the savanna by eating leaves off the bottom of the trees. These trees will then grow nice and healthy to provide provide shade, even food and water, and a place to stay for the other shorter animals who live here on the savanna. Now again, these horns on these cattle are semi-hollow, so they actually are not too heavy for them, which is good. I don't know if I'd be able to carry that weight on my head either. We are passing by some of these tall structures over here on our right and also on our left, and we pass by some more back there. Those are called termite mounds. Termite mounds are made out of soil, termite dung, and termite saliva, and they become as hard as concrete. Many animals out on the savanna might use them as a scratching post for their horns, or they might even use them as a lookout for predators for some of those smaller animals. There were definitely several Maasai giraffe out here today, so that was pretty cool to see. I even see some more back there as well. A group of Maasai giraffe is called a tower, and I'd say we were looking at a tower of Maasai giraffe today. Now I am passing by several broken down trees over here. There's only one animal on the savanna who is capable of doing such a thing to these trees. So let's keep our eyes out for any African elephants that might be nearby. Now I do see the wardens over there. The wardens are taking care of things out here on the reserve today. Elephants are nicknamed the bulldozers of the savanna because they use their tusks to bulldoze down all of those broken down trees that we passed by back there. Now they do this for a reason. They do this for food that they cannot reach. These broken down trees do help out other animals on the savanna as well. It's a source of food for them and even a place for them to hide from predators as well. We are about to go over yet another wooden bridge. There are several wooden bridges out here on the reserve, but I think this one can hold the truck's weight. So we're going to find out in a second here. But so far it seems to be doing okay, so that's always good news. And now the front tires are off, so I'm safe. And everyone else is safe too, so no need to worry there. We are going through some red clay pits here. If you look closely, there might be some signs of African elephants nearby. I do think I see some elephant tusk marks just over here on the right. African elephants love to eat red clay because it contains many minerals that are important for their health. But we are still in elephant country, so maybe we'll see some African elephants today. African elephants are unfortunately being poached for their tusks. Their tusks are made out of ivory. Now, despite that ivory ban in 1989, they are still being poached for them. But there are some ways that we can help protect the elephant populations. One of those ways is simply by making informed and responsible purchases. We can help combat illegal trade, and we can help devalue those illegal trade products. So that way we can see more African elephants out and about on the savanna. Now we did pass by some more familiar looking trees over there. Now does anyone remember the name of those trees? It starts with a B. I think I heard someone say baobab tree. That is correct. They are pretty common out here on the savanna. I think I heard another animal, so we're going to get a little bit closer over here, but I do see some greater flamingos coming up here on our left. Now, greater flamingos actually do not hatch pink like you might think, but they do hatch a gray color instead. And they get this pink color from the food that they eat. They eat shrimp, and that shrimp contains beta-carotene, which is what gives them the pink color that you see today. Now a group of flamingos all together is called a flamboyance. So a bit of a tongue twister, but this is a flamboyance of flamingos. They were being pretty vocal just a minute ago, so it sounded like they were saying goodbye to us. So everyone say bye to them. Everyone say bye-bye flamingos. He was waving bye to us. We are headed to a very different area of the savannah. This area is often called predator territory. It is a higher elevation area of the savannah that many animals, like predators, will use to locate their prey. But I do see an ostrich just there on our right, or on our left. Now, ostriches are the world's tallest bird. They average about 6 to 9 feet tall, and they can't fly, but they will run up to 40 miles an hour. And just over there on our right is a white rhino. White rhinos are the more social of the rhino species, and a group altogether is called a crash. So maybe we'll see some more white rhinos today. Now they get their name from the Afrikaans word wit, which sounds a lot like white, but actually means wide because of those very wide mouths that they have to eat food across the savannah. Now, I think I see something on top of this hill. If you look very closely, there is a cheetah laying down on that hill on the left there. Now, cheetahs have semi-retractable claws, which allow them to maintain their traction while they run at very high speeds.
Nope, not today.
And they also have very sturdy tails to help them keep their balance as they make those tight turns. Now, does anyone have a house cat at home? Well, did you know that cheetahs will chirp and purr just like a house cat will, which I think is pretty cute. I do see three more cheetahs laying down over there on our right. Cheetahs are one of my favorite animals. Now, we don't want to yell at our friends. We want to keep our inside voices here. We are in their homes, so we don't want to scare them. We are coming up to some copy rocks directly in front of us here. These rocks provide a great viewpoint of the savannah for both predator and prey animals alike. So keep your eyes on these rocks, and we'll see if we can find any movement along the rocks today. Now I do see more white rhinos. Now you can see just how wide those mouths really are. Now, white rhinos are unfortunately being poached for their horns. Their horns are they are used in medicines, and they were once thought to contain medicinal properties. However, research has proven that there are no medicinal properties in a rhino horn whatsoever, so it is unfortunate that they are being poached for that reason. Now, I do see an African lion on these rocks today, friends. Now that is a female lion. You can tell she's a female because she doesn't... Oh, friends, we don't want to yell at our friends. Thank you. Now that is a female because she doesn't have any extra fur along her head. That's called a mane, and only the males have that. Now, they live in groups called prides, consisting of one male, several females, and their cubs. Now during the day, their vision is equal to a human's, but at night, a lion's vision is 6 times more powerful than a human's. So the females will do most of their hunting at night while the males stay behind to protect the cubs. But if there are no cubs for the male lions to protect, the males are just as capable to help the females with the hunting. Now I do see another animal. Now these animals over here on our right kind of look like donkeys in appearance, but they are actually called waterbuck. Waterbuck drink abnormally large amounts of water each day. And they secrete a greasy, smelly liquid that they use to coat themselves with, and that helps to make their coats waterproof. Now, I think I see an ostrich egg nest just over there on the ground on the right. Now, each ostrich egg can weigh about 3 pounds, and about 2 dozen broken chicken eggs can fit inside of one ostrich egg, which kind of makes sense when you think about it, since they are the world's tallest bird. Of course, their eggs would have to be pretty large as well. Now we're headed into Magadi Glen to go say hello to my friend the warden. The warden takes care of Nigerian dwarf goats out here on the edge of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now these goats are pretty playful. They're also dairy goats. Their milk is sweet and nutritious and is sold for economic profit. It looks like one of them has taken over the warden's truck, so hopefully that's okay. But I don't see the warden anywhere, so maybe we just won't say anything. These goats have a pot-bellied appearance, and that is because they are ruminants with a 4-chambered stomach to help with their digestion. Now, you might have noticed that yellow box that was hanging from the chains over there on the left. Now, that's actually called a bee box. Research was conducted, and it was found that African elephants are afraid of bees. Unfortunately, farmers in Kenya were having a bit of trouble with African elephants eating and destroying their crops, and sadly, this led to them trapping and poaching the elephants. So when this research was conducted, bee boxes and bee fences were planted alongside the farmers' crops, and this proved to be a win-win situation for everybody involved. The African elephants stayed safely away from the farmers' crops because they were afraid of those bees, and the farmers were able to profit off of their healthy crops and could profit from the honey from the honeybees. The honeybees are also an endangered species, so it did prove to be a great conservation effort for both species, including the elephant, to help maintain their populations. Now, this project is called the Elephants and Bees Project and was actually started at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, friends, unfortunately, our journey through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve has come to an end, but I do hope you enjoyed your visit today, and I hope that you feel inspired to want to protect the many amazing animals that we saw today, just like how we are inspired to protect them here on the reserve. Now, if I have any wilderness explorers on the truck today, you are riding aboard the Simba 1. That is the Simba 1. Now, the warden is clearing us in. Here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbyes because goodbyes are too sad and are too final. So instead, we say kwaherini. Kwaherini means to go well. So kwaherini, everyone. Always remember to go well, to go wild, and to go make a difference for animals. My name is Corbin from Columbus, Ohio, and I want to thank you all for joining me on our tour of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve today. Now please watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs on the right. Those doors are opening, and watch your step as you exit. Have a great rest of your day at Animal Kingdom, everyone. Thanks for visiting today. You're welcome, friends. Hope you guys had fun out there.